Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to be talking about business models, and I'm going to be sharing with you the ultimate tech company business model. We are talking about business models, and very simply, a business model is a description of how you organize a company. Every company has a unique set of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we talked about this a little bit when we discussed SWOT analysis. And so what you do is you perform your SWOT analysis and you use that to create a company strategy that is unique to your situation. The business model is how you organize your company to implement your unique strategy. Now today, I'm going to be sharing with you a business model that I find to be particularly effective. But don't get upset if your company doesn't exactly match this description, because every company is a little bit different. I'm going to focus on the tech industry. Now the tech industry is going to play a pivotal role in the economy moving forward. Technology drives so much in our lives these days. The question is, how should we organize these tech companies to achieve the highest levels of productivity? The best place to start is to understand how your company makes decisions. The results of any organization are a product of the decisions of the people in that organization. And we're talking about decisions like, what type of products should I make? What type of customers should I target? And what type of people should I hire? There are a million different decisions that need to be made in a business, and how your business is organized impacts those decisions. When you look at the decisions in a tech company, you can typically evaluate them from two different perspectives. You have the technical perspective and you have the business perspective. And every tech company has both technical staff and business staff. Now your technical staff are going to be people like your engineers, scientists, mathematicians, physicists, and your business staff are people who have gone to business school. Both of these groups spent years in school studying their area of expertise. So it makes sense that they would approach decisions from two different perspectives. So your technical staff went to engineering school, whereas your business staff went to business school. And when they graduated from those programs, they had their own unique sets of tools, techniques, and methodologies for making decisions. Let's look at an example of how this dynamic plays out. Here is a diagram of a sample decision. You have two perspectives here, technical and business. Your technical staff approaches the problem by asking, what is the right answer? Your business staff approaches the same problem by asking a very different question. What is the right answer for the right amount of money? These are two very different perspectives, and I would like to suggest that the best solution is somewhere in the middle of these two perspectives. My recommendation for creating a business model is that you get the best results by representing both technical and business perspectives in your decision space. I don't think I'm saying anything too controversial here. All I'm saying is that if you take someone who studied science their whole life, and you take someone who studied money their whole life, and you put them together, that will form an effective organization. And you can see many examples of this. The most notable example, of course, is Apple. So Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak created Apple. And of course, Steve Wozniak was a great technical person, and Steve Jobs was a great business person. And together, they built one of the biggest companies in the world. The reason this is important to discuss is that if you create a business model that only focuses on one perspective, whether it's technical or business, this can create some very serious problems. Companies that only focus on the technical side tend to have money problems. You see things like companies running out of money, poor use of capital markets, and a lack of focus. The opposite also creates problems. So companies that only focus on the business side tend to have quality problems. And here you see companies that are cutting corners to make money, but then create bad products. So you'll start to see things like defective products, bad design, difficulty meeting production schedules, and low quality. You can avoid these things by organizing your company in a way that applies both perspectives when making decisions. So this raises a very difficult question. What really is the difference between the way a technical person thinks and the way a business person thinks? Can we really put that into words? And I think the best way to describe this is through a story. I want you to imagine that you live in a primitive village 2,000 years ago. So this is a small village where everybody gets together and eats their meals together as a group. So it is time for the evening meal, and everybody gathers around and they hand the food out and everybody eats. Now, unfortunately, 2 people arrive to the meal late. One person is a hunter and the other is a small boy. So they arrive to the meal, they find that everybody's already eaten everything and all of the food is gone, except for one small loaf of bread that's just enough to feed one person. So here we have a decision to make, and luckily the village has 2 very smart people. One is a technical person and one is a business person. And these 2 smart people come up to help us make this decision. We have 2 hungry people and 1 small loaf of bread. The technical person reviews the situation and he has an idea. And he's very proud of himself and he says, here's what we're going to do. We'll take the loaf of bread, cut it in half. We'll give half to the hunter and half to the boy. That is an equitable distribution of calories. The business person reviews the exact same situation, but has a very different idea. The business person takes a loaf of bread and gives it to the hunter. And he says, let the child starve. Now, the reason the business person says this is because he knows that the hunter has a higher level of productivity than the boy. And this kid is not going to starve to death in 24 hours. But that hunter is going to go out and hunt some food for the entire village so that tomorrow the entire village and this boy is going to have a full stomach. And the business person knows that the more calories that this hunter eats, the higher percentage of likelihood of that hunter having a successful hunt. That is the difference between how a technical person thinks and how a business person thinks. And what you're studying in business school is how to allocate resources in a scarce environment. This is an example of accepting short-term discomfort for long-term gain. And let's be clear here. I mean, nobody likes making these decisions. Nobody likes causing people pain or discomfort. But a business person has to be part of the decision-making process in distributing the bread in a fiscally responsible way, because in the end, everyone in the village is better off. I want to just clarify here that I'm not saying that one perspective is better than the other. I'm just saying that they're different and you need both in your organization. Honestly, technical people usually make more money than accountants because they bring that much value to an organization. And whenever I'm in a room with a technical person, I listen to every single word they say because usually they're smarter than me. But here's the deal. One of the keys to being successful in life is understanding where you bring value to a situation and also understanding how other people bring value to a situation. And how accountants bring value is they know an awful lot about money. That is the skill that you bring to the decision-making table. Now I want to hear from you. If you think it's a good idea in your business model to include both technical and business perspectives, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, click on the subscribe button. The best way to supercharge a business is through accounting and corporate finance, and I release a new video every week. So come back and check out next week's video.